Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, 2021 Subaru Outback, and I am your Taiwanese American Southern Californian.
Hi. I'm Parth, 2016 M3, which I've been driving. And,
finally,
Yeah. I actually drove it a few times to work this week.
Yeah, you drove it to work? No way.
3 times.
No way.
3 out of 5.
What a concept. Driving the car you've owned for how many years now?
I cleaned it last weekend, actually. I haven't washed the fucking car. I used to wash the car like every day. And then,
Back when you didn't drive.
Yes, exactly. I'd be cleaning a clean car. And now, last Sunday was the first time I cleaned it, I would say, in the last 3-4 months.
Dude, I haven't watched either of my cars.
Wow, dude, how do you... Well, okay, look, you don't have a BMW. That's the thing. The reason is... Okay, that sounded arrogant.
Wow.
I know.
I don't need to wash my car because I'm a poor person. I drive Honda to Subaru. My car's not worth washing. We need to save the water for these bastards in their M3s.
Look. I realized the minute I said it, that's not how I meant to say it, okay? I meant to say because BMWs have those brakes that create a fucking cloud of brake dust every single time you tap on the brakes. So in 3-4 months, the M3 looked dirty. And honestly, you could get by with just washing the wheels if you just did that. But it's like you're washing the wheels, may as well do the whole car, right? So yeah, that's why. And I think there was a few times I actually drove it in the rain in the past 3-4 months. So it definitely was due for a wash. She's shining, looking good.
Mm-hmm. My cars haven't had a wash in a long time. I don't have time to get around to it these days. It's either I'm going to work.
I find it relaxing. Like stuff like that, like washing the car, mowing the lawn, being outside but doing something. I really like it. I wash the bike too, actually. The bike sits outside, you know that.
I'm afraid to wash a bike, dude. It's just all like... The only time I washed my bike was when I took the engine out of it.
Dude, you know how I wash my bike?
How?
I bought a bug sprayer. Like, one of those, like, insecticide sprayers from Home Depot. Yeah. I bought 4 gallons of distilled water a few months back. Used 2 gallons of them, a gallon and a half, the first time I did it. So still had about 2.5 or so gallons left. So I used distilled water only in the bug sprayer. Distilled water for a $10 Car Guys hand cannon soap fucking shit thing. And foam the bike. Kind of, rub it down, and then distilled water with insecticide pump sprayer to wash it. You don't get hard water that way.
Well, it's because it's distilled water, bro.
Yeah, dude, but bikes always get fucking hard water, dude. The first time I washed it was hard water city in that bitch, dude. And then, to make it better, I basically wiped the whole thing down with engine degreaser. Dude, it was actually fucking hilarious. I started it up after the wash the first time I did it with the engine degreaser. After it started warming up, I rode it around the neighborhood and I left it running. I went back and it looked like it was on fire. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. I'm like, what did I do? But it was just the engine degreaser just fucking, burning off, like, the engine parts and shit.
Let me ask you a question. So, after you washed the cars, did it rain the next day?
Only when my dad does it, that happens. When I wash the cars, it doesn't.
Oh, that's strange.
I have good luck.
That's strange. Because, it's a rule, right?
Yeah.
It's a written rule in the pages of the history of man that the day after you wash your car, it will guarantee rain.
Yeah, no, not for me.
That's strange.
Also, I because of my work, the line of work, I tend to actually know what the weather is. So,
you're a cheater.
No, I just kind of use my brain. Unlike the previous men of history past.
You're not a man, dude.
I'm not a man because it doesn't fucking rain after I wash my car because I check the fucking forecast.
That's freaking witchcraft, dude. We know
it's iPhone weather, bitch.
No, like, that's witchcraft. If you wash your car, it's guaranteed to rain the next day, no matter what the weather forecast says. You know, California is in a serious drought right now. You know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, the only way to solve the drought problem is for everyone to wash their car one person at a time, take turns. So if someone washes their car, the next day it will rain. Yeah. My friend washes the car, the next day it will rain.
Okay, I see.
Right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But it's like sort of a catch-22 right now because California government is limiting, how much water you could use because of the drought.
Sure.
So, people are starting to wash their cars less, which means it's going to rain less, which means the drought's going to get worse. The way to solve the drought is to wash more cars. See, this is the problem.
Jeffrey Life for government, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes, thank you. Because we need more water to wash our cars.
That's right.
So that it will rain more water, so that we can wash our cars to rain more water. That's the rain cycle.
Except if I wash the car, so I should just.
I told you witchcraft. You're
it's not witchcraft.
You're banned from washing cars because you waste water, right? We normal people, when we wash cars and it rains the next day, it's we conserve water because we spend water on the car and we produce more rain.
It just sounds like a personal problem that you can't look at the fucking weather and then, just not wash your car if it's going to rain the next fucking day.
Nah, dude. Everyone knows that it's a rule that it will rain the next day after you wash your car. Ask anyone out there.
I'm anyone. You're not asking me.
You're not anyone.
What?
You don't count as anyone, dude.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
all right.
I don't think you even said your name in the intro. What's your name?
Bob. Went with that one before. No, okay. I'm Parth. Brown boy. Bay Area. Shit. Yeah.
And again, as you could hear, Andrew's not here, but I was actually talking to him a couple days ago, catching up. It looks like the Evo days are about to be over.
He says that. The minute he fucking sells that shit, he's gonna miss it and he's gonna regret it. Andrew, if you're listening, on your way to work and shit, don't fucking do it.
He just asked me like, "Hey, do you wanna help me take pictures?"
Oh no!
So I could put it on the market. Yeah, he's planning to get a Model Y or Model. What's the small one again?
E3,
Model 3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, what's happening to us, dude?
Age is one.
I like, right? Like, that's what I was wondering the other day. I'm like, are we just too old?
No, but see, cars? the thing is, I had the M3 lowered on springs, right?
Yeah.
Got tired of the low life. Matured a bit. Got older. Wiser, right? More, what do you call it? Shatterable spine, okay? What did I do? I went and put the stock springs back. That's all I did. That's all I did, okay? I just went and put the stock springs back. Andrew's like, I'm going to go become a 70-year-old man with a Model 3.
But, we've been talking about, you say week after week that you're like, oh, man, I'm kind of out of the cars these days, dude.
Because what's there that's okay, look, okay. So a few weeks back, I had this idea, right? I was like, dude, let me see if I can get, a used E46, E39 M5, right? Specifically, more an E39 M5. I'm like, if it's
been on this plan since sophomore year of college.
Well, fucking Doug ruined it. Doug, much as I love the guy, he went out and made a video. Oh, how the E39 M5 is gonna go up in prices? Why did you have to say such things, dude?
Doug is what Elon is to the stock market. Doug is what
to the used car market.
To the used car market.
I agree with that, dude, because. Okay, fine, I guess COVID also kind of happened around that same time and all that shit in the car market and the used car market and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's his fault. So I've been on that shit, right? But I'm like, okay, if I can find one for $20K-ish in relatively decent condition, I'll buy it. The cheapest one I found was $22K and it didn't look like it was in decent condition. It had 100 and some thousand miles on it, dude. And then E46 M3, same thing. They're all back up in prices. Can't find a decent one for less than $30K. $30K for an E46 M3. And don't even talk about like the cars like 1M. You know, remember those the 1M that they made? That shit is like 50, 60K. And all these cars now are ridiculously expensive because not only because of COVID, people are realizing they were fun and they're going up. Your S2K is dummy expensive now, by the way.
I know, right? It used to be S2000 used to be like if you wanted a like reliable, has good power, fun rear-wheel drive manual sports car that was affordable.
Yeah.
You go out and buy an S2K because, you know, you either had a Miata, a BRZ, right?
Yeah,
25 grand, kind of lacking in power at that time. Or you went out and bought the more powerful, the reliable, the cheaper at the time S2000. But now... it's not really an affordable option.
Like, you could sell yours today for the same price or maybe more than what you bought it for. 100%.
No,
Guaranteed. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, no, I could probably make money off of my car at this point.
Yeah. Like, it's not even a doubt in my mind, dude. So, I was looking at these older cars, right? And I'm like, okay, let me look at like an RX-7. I know I was looking at FD RX-7, but let me see. $75,000. And there's 2 for sale in California. For an FD RX-7. And one was close to stock, one wasn't.
Ooh.
$75,000. And I'm sure that's probably more the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like a stock one would go for like 80, 90.
Yeah. So I had this idea a few weeks back. I'm gonna, I'll buy a nice old cheaper fun car. Dude, like, I'm just gonna buy a bike.
do you ever regret selling that RX-8?
I miss it, but no. Just because I know we got very lucky with that car in terms of maintenance and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We never had any kind of like serious engine problems or anything like that. The cat went out one time. That's pretty much it. Had to get a tow truck for it. But we maintained it well, but at the same time, we did get lucky. As nice as the RX-8 was, no. I still really do think it was very underpowered. Even though I had that 8.5K red line, all that stuff, it didn't have the oomph, you know? What sounds fantastic to me is the E39 M5, V8, manual only, 400 horsepower, with the most elegant body design BMW ever made.
True. I miss that era of BMW design. That
if I see one on the road, I drool over it. I'm just like, do you understand how expensive a fucking car you're driving right now? Like,
I saw the other day just a bone stock, like that era. I don't know if it was a 5 Series or a 3 Series. That era, just clean.
Yeah.
Wasn't even an M5. Wasn't an M3. It was just bone stock 5. I don't know the number.
But it looked damn good.
But I was like, dude.
Yeah, dude, that generation, man. They just, and like what you said, it was so good you couldn't tell the difference, like of the 3 or the 5. It was such clean it was beauty in simplicity. It truly was. That was the essence of German engineering, I feel. Like, love the way the F80 looks. When I was walking out from work this past week, like I told you, 3 days I drove to work. Every time I walked out of the car, I was like, dude, it looks damn good. The way it's sitting right now, I was like, looks pretty fucking good, right? But it's like, aggressive styling with all the big hips and the fenders and all that stuff, right? But the old E39 5 Series or the old M3 Series from that generation, just a simple design that looks just good. It like, if you didn't know cars, I would feel like you would think it's relatively new. Relatively. If it was well kept, well maintained, paint was good, all that stuff, I really feel like somebody who doesn't know cars, it aged very well. It aged really nicely.
It aged well. I would say that for sure. Like I think it really does look good, but like I don't know if it looks modern.
It isn't okay. I agree with you on that, because especially also from the standpoint that people know BMW more than they know like other cars and stuff. Yeah. So they would be like, yeah, it's not like the new BMWs we see, right? But it looks good, dude. It looks friggin' just... It aged really well compared to the, Bangle Butt era kind of 5 Series.
Hey, say what you want about the Bangle Butt era or Chris Bangle as a designer, but I feel like he's really changed completely the way BMWs are designed, right? I mean, they all looked like a similar way up until when he designed them.
Yeah.
And then it's not like people saw it as like, oh, it looks terrible, and then BMW went back to the drawing board and went back to that original design. No, they just built off of what he designed. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right, actually.
It did look pretty good for a while, like afterwards. And then it just kind of went completely downhill in this modern era.
Can I say something controversial? And contradictory? And Andrew, if you're listening to this, fuck you, because he said that I would say this. I'm conflicted on the new G80 M3s.
Freaking A, dude.
In the looks department only. In the looks department only. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because literally, if you don't see the front, its stance is fucking nice. And so
if you don't look at part of the car, it's fine, dude.
Like everything except for straight on, it actually looks pretty damn good. And some of the guys out there put spacers and like lowered it and like stanced it out. It looks even more aggressive than the F80.
Well, the problem is it has that front end.
Yes, that's the issue. But even then, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And I'm really coming from the heart here because this is something I was thinking about for the past few months that I didn't share with anybody. It's kind of actually growing on me.
Of course it is.
Little bit.
What's the surprise?
Little bit.
BMW.
I don't like BMW. I don't like the BMW brand right now. I don't think BMW is going the right direction. But in terms of just, if you just look at elementary level, just looks, it actually looks not bad.
I'll tell you what. The grill, I feel like, does look good on one variant of that car, and is that like GT3 racing version of it, which is like massively wide. But I still see that thing on the street, and I'm like, nah, dude. Nah.
Yes, if you look at it from the front, and also if you look at it in brighter colors. If you look at it in darker colors, black, darker
where you
red,
can't see the grill.
Yeah. Dude, like, I really think BMW had a solid design on their hands, a solid, predecessor to the F80. More aggressive, more wide, more just, BMW M3. And then they just shat on it with the grill. That's it. Otherwise, it's actually a very good looking car. It actually makes the F80 look outdated.
Have you seen... I'm not saying this as a contradictory to what you just said, but have you seen just the normal, like, 4 Series?
4 Series with the grill? Yeah.
Oh!
No. Yeah.
Dude, that is horrible.
Let's to respond to your thing, I'll put it this way. Never, ever in the history of forever, the 4 Series with the fucking grill. The M3 or the M4, I'm not an M4 guy, but the M3 with the grill, if I had to and I had no other choice and that was the only M3 ever left and I couldn't buy used cars, sure.
Just put a paper bag over there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, just, how I always park, hard park that shit, right?
Yeah.
I just pulled straight in. I'll just pull straight in.
Nose into the curb, onto the curb.
No, I need to park next to the building so that the nose is into the building and nobody can fucking see the front. That's it. But the rest of the car looks good.
Do you remember those, like, old, like, back in the 90s, people would buy those nose masks for their cars?
Yeah.
Like that black leather stuff that you put on. Yeah. I would never understand, like, why on earth would you buy something like that for your car? Like,
you used to see them a ton on Boxsters for some reason.
Like, why do you want to protect paint that you'll never see? Yeah. And then now I know it's just so you don't see the front of your hideous M3.
Seriously, dude. Yeah, I agree. Another thing, maybe it is who I am. I saw on the road yesterday an E92, a very clean E92 with the competition wheels and all that stuff. That's another one that has aged really nicely. Like, to the point that I would sell my F80 for an E92 M3 with the competition wheels.
I agree. Those look really
dude, they look really good. And it's so weird how on the E series I like the coupe, but on every other M3 I like the sedan.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed that. It was the Bangle Butt era, but I missed that era of BMW.
Yeah, it was the last hurrah, to be honest.
Yeah, Drive Tribe, they bought, I believe it was an M5 touring dude. V10 wagon
Formula
M5.
1 engine. Yeah.
So good, dude.
Dude, as much as I hate the Bangle Butt era, I have still looked at it. Even those went up, by the way. But I have still looked at it just because I actually got to drive one. Back when it was relatively newer, I was able to drive one. It looked like shit. It was big. It was heavy. The interior was like as if you like in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? You know the Dubai like gold and red and kind of glintsy and over the top kind of shit. Yeah. The interior, you knew it wouldn't age well. The iDrive was shit. Like it was the first or second generation of it. It was horrible. Absolutely just abysmal. But I would still get one just for that engine and that SMG, dude.
I think that's the craziest thing, right? Like I look back on that car, I see it, and I'm like, it doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
The iDrive sucks. The interior is blah. I know the thing is gonna blow up anytime soon.
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost me a fortune to fix. It's gonna cost nearly a fortune to buy and maintain and own. And all those things going into my head, like thinking about it, and I'm just still thinking like, but what if I could have one?
Right? Just an F1 engine on the street. It sounded freaking good, dude. That was a nice engine. That was a nice drivetrain. I don't care if the SMG was sluggish and all that other bullshit. The jerkiness and the you know how barbaric that transmission was made that car fun. It really made that car fun.
Do you think this is just nostalgia talking of us talking about these old cars? Cause
yes.
This is going back to like the question I was asking. Because the other day I was like, are we just getting old? Or are cars nowadays really like just boring? Or like...
Both.
Like, I mean, like, there's still cool cars coming out, right? Like,
sure.
I mean, there's the Lamborghini. We used to have like this great affinity. I think it was some Top Gear influence for like European cars and the BMWs, the Ferraris, the Audis. And nowadays we're here talking about, oh man,
Hyundai's new electric or something.
They're all boring, and then the only interesting thing is just American cars and SUVs, or really?
I kind of have an answer to your statement.
Yeah.
One, we are getting old. Cars that we used to like, we still like them. That's the thing. We just couldn't afford them, attain them back then, right?
Yeah.
But we still like them for what they were as kids, you know? Second thing is, refinement is like a coffin. It's a double-edged sword. Refinement, right? Refinement, you come with things like no vibrations, no kind of fear that my car won't start, no kind of, that I can drive this car 2,000 miles, and it's not going to overheat if I drive it all in one shot. You get that kind of things with refinement, right? Like, it's comfy. You don't have to worry about noises. Things don't kind of, get you. What was that, right?
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about analog, older cars that from the generation that we liked and stuff, where engineering wasn't at its peak yet in terms of the internal combustion engine and all that stuff. Where they were still trying. There was no DCT. There was no ZF. There was no, auto blip downshift kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
They were still trying to figure it out. There is fun in shitty engineering. you know what I'm saying?
Unfinished,
unrefined. Yeah. There is fun in that. There is.
Yeah.
Where the car speaks to you, where you hear the flywheel, where you hear the gears grinding, where if you fuck up a downshift, you actually fuck up. Not like today where driving the M3 and I downshift, I feel like Michael Schumacher because, every downshift looks like I'm a fucking professional heel tower, Like, there was fun in that. There truly was. Having analog things does make life more difficult in the sense that it's harder to learn, it's harder to become an expert at, it's harder to achieve higher levels of proficiency with. But if you achieve those, or if you're on your way to achieve those, I still think that older tech is more fulfilling, more fun. Like, anybody can go buy an M5 today and drive it and take it 200 miles an hour. What's hard in it? You don't have to do anything, right?
Yeah.
But rewind that about 20 years, the guy's putting his life on the line to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, like, inherent fun in danger or the unknown or, whatever it is.
Knowing that I can control what is trying to kill me.
There's a phrase that my instructor used to use. The only antidote to shoddy or, bad engineering is excellent pilot training. Right?
Uh-huh.
In the sense that things will always never be made to the perfect level or pinnacle of engineering. So what is the antidote is excellent pilot training and excellent pilot skill. I think that applies to cars. Because you take that to a car from like an E46 M3. You take an F80 around Laguna, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, dude, I can post a pretty quick lap time. To do the same level of a lap time in an E46 M3 requires a high level of skill. But there's such a high level of fun and gratification if you achieve it.
That's true. I do find myself the cars I want are starting to get older and older, like back through the years. Yeah. Like I drive down the street, I see like the middle-aged guy sitting in his like Ford Model A hot rod.
Yeah.
Half his body's hanging out of it. You can see his face jiggling in the mirrors because the vibrations from the motor, and I'm like,
that looks like
that
fun.
looks fun.
That looks like, yeah. The fact that it's a piece of shit looks like it's fun, dude. Maybe that's why American cars are fun. Maybe they actually haven't improved.
They're still garbage.
Yeah,
and
right?
so it keeps the essence of fun.
Yeah.
I just got a text from my friend saying that I should go watch the new Top Gun movie.
You gotta go watch the new Top Gun movie. I watched it last night. Okay, so movie came out in 1986. I was born in 1995. I've been waiting for this movie since 1986. That's right. Do the math, kids.
Smart, yes.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I know nothing about Top Gun, by the way.
You do. You've watched it with me, Jeffrey. You
no,
watched
I
the
did
first
not.
one. Yes, you did.
Okay, let me just tell you how this went, right? We were in college. It was, I don't know, a Friday evening, and we were like, yo, we're bored. Let's put on a movie. And Parth was like, let's watch Top Gun. I was like, yeah, dude, I've never seen it. We put on the movie, and I was like, I cannot watch this, because every single line, I'm not saying this as an exaggeration, every single piece of dialogue Parth repeated as they said it. So I wasn't watching Tom Cruise or whoever the heck else was in the movie. I was watching Parth just recite over the entire movie. I'm not joking when I say every line. The guy would say something and respond. The other guy would respond. Parth would be both of those people. And I was like...
I guess he's not wrong. If you ask me, if somebody, what's your favorite movies all time? 1 and 2, Top Gun, Hunt for Red October. That's how it works. I can give you all the dialogues, all the lines of both those movies. Both of those movies are watched 4 to 6 times a year. And it comes from my dad. My dad was the one who got me into this. And my dad's the same way. You put, like, he'll be scrolling through the channel. Fucking, we're at a hotel or something. Top Gun shows up, and we're watching Top Gun now. And my mom, like, I don't know how my mom deals with us, because she fucking sits there and watches it too. And it's like the billionth time she's seen it, and the billionth time we've seen it. So I was fully ready to be disappointed. Fully ready. I was like, it's got, sequels are never as good as the first. This was damn good, dude. It was damn good. The flying scenes, it's mind-blowing that they used minimal CGI. Minimal.
So you're telling me Mr. Cruise flew fighter jets?
Yeah, I mean, like, not actually, because the Navy's not gonna... Even if you're Tom Cruise, the Navy's not gonna let you... Tom Cruise is the pilot, but Navy will not let Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is pilot?
Tom Cruise is the pilot, dude. Tom Cruise owns a Gulfstream. Tom Cruise owns a Honda Jet. Tom Cruise owns a T5 trainer. I forgot what the name.
Wait,
of that
what?
thing was.
Hold on.
Tom Cruise owns a P-51 Mustang. World War II. More like Korean-ish war.
He owns a Gulfstream. How?
He flies it too. Like, everyone talks about John Travolta being the Hollywood guy that's the pilot. Tom Cruise is also a pilot. Like
That's
he's
a lot of. Man, welcome again to the Runway Podcast, bro. I should have not brought that text up. We always end up talking about not cars.
The Taxiway Side Podcast.
Let's bring it back to cars. I heard a name that I recognize in that lineup. I heard Honda Jet.
Dude,
now,
Honda
being a Honda fanboy, I know plenty about. It's probably the only plane I know about anything with.
Yeah.
Because it has the word Honda written on it.
Yeah.
It's the Honda Jet. Can we talk about the fact that Honda, the car company that started off making motorcycles, got famous for making basically the cheap and cheerful Honda Super Cub, went off and was like, hey,
we're going to make a jet.
let's make an airplane.
Yeah. No, not a jet.
A jet.
Yeah.
And it's not, and from what I've been reading and researching about, because, one day I will buy, no, I won't, a Honda Jet.
A Honda S2000, a Honda bike, and a Honda Jet. What more do you need in life, bro, if you're a Honda fanboy? Oh, wait, you need a Honda lawnmower, too. Don't forget.
True, dude. So the Honda Jet has V10. No, it doesn't. The Honda Jet is this wild-looking jet, right? Because it's different because it has its engines mounted just, how most private jets either have them mounted on the fuselage.
Yeah, like on the tail section, yeah.
Yeah, and then big jets have them mounted under the wings.
Yeah.
The Honda Jet has them mounted on pylons that rest above the wings.
They're mounted on the wings, yeah. Like upwards.
That's better for passenger space, fuel efficiency, or a bunch of things. And I think the entire idea, I remember from watching a video, came from the lead engineer. He had a dream. Like, literally, he was snoring in his bed at night, had a dream about the engines being mounted above the wings, and then it was like, let's do it.
Are you I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, no, that's actually it. Like, that's what happened. Like, that's why I think Honda has its slogan, Honda, the power of dreams.
No way, dude. No way. I did not know that, dude. That's actually nuts.
and it's become such a hit that it's one of like a really good selling, what classified as what, a light jet.
I think so. I think that's what they're called. Yeah. The small private jets that single pilot. Like you don't need two pilots to fly. You just need one.
Yeah, and the sales numbers on planes and private jets, I realize, are a lot different from cars.
This was funny when Jeffrey texted me. He was like, "Dude,
I was like, dude, Honda Jet sold." It's a bestseller, dude.
Yeah.
And they've sold since its conception in 2014, 130 or something like that.
That's pretty.
And I was like, yo, dude, they had a good year during COVID. They sold 30. I'm like, dude, if that was a car, that thing would have been out before the end of the first quarter, dude. If it sold 130 units.
So you gotta think, how much is a Honda Jet? You probably know this.
I think about like $5 million.
And that's probably like base, right? You could probably like no fucking rupees, bro. What else are you? Like what? Of course it's dollars. Why? You said it there. $5 million. No fucking cows, bro. The barter system up in Honda's Dream Vision department. Anyway, so. $5 million? That's like starting, right? You want some extra features, probably like $6-7 million, right? That's pretty good. Like, imagine if it cost Honda $500 to $1 million to make. That's not bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're about to come up with Honda's about to come up with a new one. They just have it in concept form right now. It's like the Honda Jet 2600. EX or whatever. It's supposed to be like a transcontinental light jet.
Oh,
like
shit. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you can fly.
Jeffrey knows more about that than I do.
Apparently, you could fly. It's like longer, bigger. It's supposed to be able to fly from like, I don't know, like New York to LA or whatever, some crap that, with a single pilot without refueling.
That is nuts. Like, if you understand the world of aviation, that concept is nuts.
And you could, I think, carry like 8, 9 people on it or something while doing that.
You know what I would do to have a private jet like that?
Curbside Podcast listeners, with your support, Parth could buy things for himself. Now that sounds kind of.
If you guys make us famous enough where we can buy a private jet for the Curbside Podcast, I promise to do okay, maybe a monthly is too much. Every 6 months, a subscriber like fan special flight for free. All right, and we take you to like fucking Vegas and we get you drunk, some shit like that. All right, you know,
one at a time though, because if this does somehow happen,
yeah. Well, I mean, it depends how many of you people. Okay, like you know, Honda Jet's great and all, but you know what's even better? A Gulfstream. I just say it, you know. The more you guys support, the better the experience, right? You support a bit, okay, we get a Honda Jet. You support a bit more, you get a Gulfstream. And the new one, too, the nice one. Take about 20 of you motherfuckers.
All right, so that's been the Runway podcast, but it had something to do with. Let's go to our break, dude. I just noticed. Why is your name Smiley on my freaking? It's supposed to be part. Why are you last week? It was iPhone 3, and now it's Smiley. What?
Well, so you told me, you're like, yo, dude, can you sign into your Zoom thing so that your name shows up, right? I was too lazy to do that, so I'll just change the name. Top Gun's on my head, right? A little bit, you know, the Runway Side Podcast. So I put in Smiley. This is actually a nickname of mine now. I'll tell you why. So at our flight school, you know, we have our fueler, the guy who fuels the airplanes. We have our own fuel truck. He's the guy who fuels them. He's a really nice guy. He's this older Mexican guy. Old man Copas, or we call him Jimmy. Jimmy also works. Old man Copas or Jimmy. Great guy. Spent time in prison. Like, hardened guy. The guy has some stories, man. Like, used to, like, you know, be, like, in a gang and shit. But he's older now. He's, like, in his 60s and stuff like that. Really nice guy. Funny guy. Good-hearted person. Problem is, he's one of the types that has difficulties remembering motherfuckers' names. So every CFI at the flight school or, you know, management-type person, he's assigned a nickname. So apparently I'm known as Smiley. So I'm Smiley. So I'm Smiley because I'm always smiling. I'm always, you know, he says, you're always happy to see motherfuckers. And you're always like, you know, being nice to people. So you're Smiley. So I got this nickname about like 4 or 5 months ago, right? So we have one guy who's 20 years old, about to become a CFI. He's youngster. We have one CFI who's, you know, blonde hair, blue-eyed, you know, like that kind of stuff, you know, pretty boy kind of thing. His nickname that Jimmy assigned him is Hollywood. So we just signed kind of like all the staff or employees of Tradewinds like nicknames, and he's like, these are y'all's call signs now. You want me to go paint them on the planes before every flight? I'm like, shit, Jimmy, may as well change the name of Tradewinds to Top Gun.
All right, break time. As always, you can check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com. There you'll find links to all our stuff. You can check us out on youtube.com/thecurbsidepodcast. Subscribe there, ring the bell. Follow us on Twitter at Curbside Pod, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at the Curbside Podcast.
Jeffrey just took over that this week because he was like, Parth is just gonna say follow us on the socials. You know,
he's gonna do the email.
I've been demoted. You guys know where to fucking follow us. Just fucking do it, bitch. Like,
hey, I uploaded a clip of last week's episode on TikTok. It got 2,000 some hits right now.
No way. Really?
Glad we're still doing decently well on TikTok. You know, you guys following us, liking us, commenting. It's all fantastic motivation for our show. Like, we need a bit of an extra push.
It's fun to do, but you're like, it's Friday. It is Friday, by the way.
It's Friday.
It's 9 o'clock. Could be doing something else, you know. But we decided we're going to record this podcast today.
Yeah, it's because, like, we know there's people out there that, have listened to all the episodes. Thank you again. And, like, your support, that's a fantastic motivation for...
And it's motivation for you, because then you get the free Gulfstream ride.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Vegas. That's right.
Yeah, like, right now, it's a bit difficult to do, but maybe with more support from you guys,
A bit. You know how much a Gulfstream costs?
No, I'm not the playing, you freaking... Okay. I meant the recording the podcast and stuff. Like,
okay,
we could maybe do more stuff easily. And it would be nice. I mean, thank you guys already for subscribing, messaging us. Keep it up. It helps a lot. And it means a lot.
And we're not dead to the person that thought we were dead last week.
Yes. Thank you. Shout out to Mr. Mario Martinez on YouTube, who commented, "I thought y'all guys were dead." I could see how you would think that, being that we were gone for five months.
Mr. Martinez, I kind of do, but at the same time, how the fuck are all three of us going to die at the same time?
Hey, man, a lot goes on these days.
Unless we were all in a plane crash and I was flying.
Yeah, it was Parth's fault. If we all are dead at some point, just know it was probably Parth's fault. Yeah.
At the same time, yes. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, so big things could be coming to the Curbside Podcast if we have your support.
Gulfstream.
Yes. You want to tell the people where they could email us?
Oh, I get to do. I have the privilege of telling them where to email us?
Yes.
Send it to the Curbside Podcast at shoveitupyourass.com, Jeffrey. That's where it is.
Wow. Yeah. I need to go buy that domain name now.
It's actually at the gmail.com, but anyway, fuck you. Got demoted from last week. I'm not allowed to say socials anymore because I just tell you guys to follow all of them.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Are you ready to move? Now that we got you loose, I can hear the birds waking up.
All right, back to the show. The news.
Okay, I'm sorry. It is kind of Top Gun related. All right, we're back to the runway side, taxiway side, apron side podcast, but it has
did
car.
You say apron side?
Apron, yeah, that's like where they park the planes. The apron. It's
I thought we were like, all right, we're about to go into the cooking show podcast now. Where are your apron podcast?
Yeah, the cooking show. So apparently, Subaru had a deal with the new Top Gun movie to feature. Yeah, I fucking didn't know this, but. The headline goes, Top Gun Maverick was so delayed, its production placement features the old Subaru WRX.
Good. It looked better.
The article does mention that. But apparently, Subaru and the Top Gun people came to an agreement that, I guess, 2019 WRX would be showcased in the movie, right? Problem was... COVID and Tom Cruise decided to delay the movie quite a bit, right? Plus, they had to shoot more scenes, and they were shooting in an actual fighter jet, so it's the Navy. Everyone's delayed in the Navy and aviation. So, by the time the movie came out, they're actually featuring in the movie, which I don't remember for some reason. I'm watching it again tomorrow. I'll see if I'll look out for it. That they featured the 2019 WRX. And, obviously... It's not, you can't buy one new anymore. So
that sucks.
So, it's, I like Jeffrey said, it's okay because, I do prefer the old one than the new one. But the thing that kind of caught my attention, which kind of made me like, is a bit over here. It says, it's often in demand for stunt crews, he said. Who he said is like the spokesperson for Subaru. A lot of times, WRX and STIs are requested because a lot of these stunt drivers come from a rally background. They're used to that product. It's something they came up with. He did add that the WRX requested for Top Gun Maverick was a CVT, not a manual, which is common because many Hollywood stars, as with many Americans now, don't know how to drive a stick shift. The good news is that 2022 Subaru WRX doesn't veer too far from the car seen in the movie, at least in spirit, if not looks. But the thing is, and this is actually, where did that there's one quote that said, oh, that's right. And that the person pitched the WRX to the Top Gun Maverick crew as a pilot's car. Apparently pilots like to drive Subaru WRXs. Not the fuck boys.
You hear that, Parth?
Not the fuck boys drinking boba in San Jose.
Get rid of that M3 and buy a pilot's car.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that a Subaru WRX is a pilot's car.
You clearly are not a pilot. Parth's making all this up. He doesn't fly planes for a living.
That's right.
He's been found out.
Yep.
He's been found out.
I've been got it, dude.
What do you think would be a good pilot's car? And don't say F80 M3 just because you have one.
The Toyota Camry. Yo, you gotta get to the airport somehow, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, no. Out of full seriousness, a Ram TRX.
Huh?
Yes.
You know, I was picturing when we talked about the astronaut car was a Corvette Stingray. It's like svelte, classy,
Yeah.
I was picturing that sort of car, like an Aston or like a Jaguar.
No, a Ram TRX. 100%. 100%.
Okay. Okay. I did not know. You're the pilot, man.
I don't even want to explain myself because it's just a long explanation, but 100% Ram TRX, Ford Raptor.
When I get on my commercial flight and I'm like, I want the pilot with the dexterity and the like delicacy to fly this craft. And then he pulls up in the Ram TRX with his lead foot and his meat hands, like, all right, passengers, get on board. I'll be like, oh, no.
Trust me.
Oh, well, in other news, you know how we're talking about nostalgia?
Yeah.
Nostalgia is a powerful player in everything these days. We see it in style, and we see it in cars, all
movies.
the other movies. Like everything, we're just going back to what we did in the 90s.
Yeah.
And another name would like to join that list. Can you guess what it is?
De Tomaso.
That would be pretty sick, dude.
That's a good guess, isn't it? Like, if
That's
you told me
guess.
if this is a new De Tomaso, I'd be like, oh, it's pretty sick, dude. Like, I don't even know what it is, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good guess, but the correct answer is
Corvette.
DeLorean.
Oh, yeah.
I completely forgot. I think the news of this came out a while ago,
Yeah,
but DeLorean is going to revamp itself. I have the counter on the website right now. It's May 27th. It says 2 days, 23 hours, 30 minutes, and 50 some odd seconds until they release the new next generation DeLorean.
So, for ladies and gentlemen that can't do math, that is Monday, the 30th of May.
But yeah, so the DeLorean, after all these years, I don't know who's funding it, where it's going to come from. It's probably going to be China because they fund everything these days. But I believe they're resurrecting it as an electric car, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Then throw a V12 in it.
Like that was always the problem with the DeLorean, right? Amongst many.
Yeah.
But the DeLorean always looked pretty cool. Had the gull-wing doors, had the low slab design, like the stainless steel body panels with no paint on them. But it had that like terrible engine in it, which made it like real slow and not really living up to its looks. Maybe this with an electric powertrain will be like that. I mean, from the looks of it, it might be pretty cool. Gull-wing doors, most likely.
It has to. It was like,
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna have. It's probably not gonna have stainless steel body panels.
That's going to be an option, probably.
Maybe, at least the color is.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Parth? What was it?
No, I think it looks pretty damn good, dude. Like I've seen these renders before, and I'm like, if it looks anything close to that, it's gonna be freaking nice.
In other news, more news that we forgot to cover while we were off the air. Gordon Murray of Gordon Murray Automotive has come out with another car in the arsenal called the T33.
Wait a minute. This looks like that Russian car. from Top Gear. From like way back in the day, dude. There was like this episode they did on a Russian supercar. It looks like that.
TVR?
Yeah! That one.
TVR is actually not Russian. What happened back then was...
A Russian billionaire bought it.
Yeah. So what Gordon Murray was going after with this car, right? The T50 was, the successor to the McLaren F1. That crazy engine, the center driving position, everything's like perfect to be designed to be the best driving car ever made, right? This one, the T33, was basically his design study, right? He just wanted to make a car that he always wanted to look a certain way. And he was going for that sort of, that old, back in the day, the old Ferraris, Maseratis, those like old racing, like the old Porsches.
Oh, right there. That angle right there.
The rear 3/4 angle.
He did get the taillights off of the Ford GT though, looks like.
Yeah, well, that's more like a harken back to, the circles back then.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty good.
It looks damn good, dude. Does it have an engine?
It does have an engine. It's going to have the same engine, albeit with less power, as the one in the T50.
Which is a twin-turbo V8?
No, what?
I forgot what it was.
It's the naturally aspirated V12 that revs to 12,000 RPM with a manual transmission.
Good man. Gordon Murray is a what do they call those people that are like hella special? man amongst you know what I'm talking about. God amongst men? I guess so. We'll call him that.
I don't know. Superheroes, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to have your standard two-seater driving position. It's not going to weigh too much more than the T50.
How much is it? It's
still going to be lightweight. It's probably... It's nothing we could afford. Both of these cars... It's going to be more affordable than the T50, but not by much. It's probably some $1 billion. By the way, the T50's out testing a lot these days. They're updating it. I believe I sent you a video of them doing the stress test on the airbags, and they're just sending it over like ramps and hitting walls and being just to see if the airbag goes off. And the thing is like, it's a sturdy brick of a car, and it looks amazing. And have you heard the sound of that engine yet?
I don't think so.
So it was the safety car for the F1 V10 demonstration at Goodwood. So it ran out in front of the F1 cars. My gosh, dude. So let me just pull up the video clip from that event.
Okay.
And you just gotta hear it, dude. So there goes the car.
Oh no. It's the sound of history.
No one's ever gonna make a car like this ever again.
Fucking Tesla, you fucking electric car shitters. Like, this is the problem with you, dude. This is the problem with you electric car motherfuckers, dude. You guys go after the technology. You don't understand the passion. You shitters. You absolute scums of human beings. Tree-hugging motherfuckers, dude. Like, you're not saving shit. You're not saving shit. You're destroying things. You're destroying good things. You're destroying things like that. What you just fucking heard? You're not gonna hear that shit again, bitch. You're not gonna own shit that's gonna ever sound like that. Go drive your silent ass fucking Tesla.
There's never gonna be a car like this that's so just focused on the spirit, the passion, the emotion of driving, right? It's a V12 that revs to incredible RPMs, hooked up to a manual transmission, and it's not focused on power. It's not focused on extreme looks or how big or how crazy the technology is going to be. It's just what it's the best way to experience driving. It's going to be light, simple, manual transmission, fantastic engine, and it's just going to be happening to carry 3 people. And it's
Tesla fuckers enter the chat. Oh, but my Tesla can go to 60 faster than you. You fucking dumb bitches. Like, seriously, like, go fuck yourself. Honestly, you guys are the reason why we can't have good things in life, and things like, you know, fucking regulations and electric cars by 2030 are a fucking thing. Because if you dumb, soulless motherfuckers.
This is gonna be
Sell your ego, Andrew.
This
fucking
is gonna
sell it.
It's gonna be the last of its kind, and never, I don't think, ever again, unless Gordon Murray has something. I would give anything, dude, to experience that drive, because that is something that only a few select people with a good amount of money could afford. Hey, if you're listening to the show, why don't you hit us up? And if you got your car, once you get it, we like to just make an awesome video about it.
I will shit on a Tesla's hood for you to bring a T50 to us.
And to close off, let's talk about SUVs.
Why do I always leave the show upset, Jeffrey?
Since this is how the car market's gonna go, we have to talk about SUVs. But
Does it have an internal combustion engine?
The good news is that this one does. It is the Ferrari SUV, the Ferrari Puro Sangue. Something about blood. I know sangue means blood, right? In Italian, probably.
Pure blood? Maybe that's what it means?
Oh!
Puro sangue?
Probably. That's probably what it is.
Yeah?
Pure blood.
Pure blood?
But it's going to... So we have a YouTuber by the name of Verix has captured the new Ferrari Puro Sangue, the pure blood Ferrari. I like that naming scheme because people are going to be like, this isn't a Ferrari, it's an SUV and stuff.
But they're
so
like,
Ferrari
it's
was
pure
like,
blood.
but it's a pure blood. It's definitely a pure blood Ferrari. It's going to have a naturally aspirated V12. And he got on a video. This is sort of what it sounds like. The car's in camo. But if you want to go see the video, check it out on YouTube. I think his name is Varyx, Varyx. Here it is.
Hey guys, welcome back for another interesting video about the upcoming Ferrari Puro Sangue. This time the subject is obviously the V12 engine, so take a listen.
Yeah, by the looks of the video, it kind of looks like the car. It's obviously
it looks like a raised TDF.
That's what I was gonna say, or a raised like Ferrari FF. It doesn't look like any other sort of SUV for sure. It's got like a long hood, short butt.
I bet you it's the same engine as the Superfast.
Probably.
Yeah, that iconic front engine V12.
But yeah, everyone's made an SUV now. Everyone's caved.
You know. I would be upset at this 2 years ago, but the fact that it has an internal combustion engine that's a V12 just makes me so happy. You know, it really does. Times have changed, you fucking Tesla. Anyway,
that's our show for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Again, you can check us out at the curbsidepodcast.com. There you'll find links to all our stuff. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, all that jazz. And you can check us out on youtube.com. Go subscribe there. And yeah.
Curbside Podcast at gmail.com.
And the other stuff, sir.
Oh, and thank you for Kid Doe for the intro to outro to the show.
Yes, and follow us on our socials. Okay.
Jesus, I haven't done that. Did I do that last show? I don't think I did.
You didn't do the Kid Dope one last show, but thank you for listening. As always, my name's Jeff.
I'm Parth. Or Smiley.
Yes. Remember, drive safe, fly safe. No, we're not. Drive safe.
Fly safe. I like that.
And life is too short to drive boring cars.
Or fly boring planes.
Oh my gosh.